Hello, my name is Kirsten Hickson. My project is Formative Assessment in Science for class EMAT 689. First, I will describe what formative assessment is. It is the many ways that teachers gather information during instruction that shows the progress of students to learning targets. It improves instructions and learning for teachers and students alike. It also gives teachers evidence on which instructional strategies or methods are working in the classroom. In 1996, Beverly Bell and Bronwyn Cowie did a project on formative assessment in New Zealand. It was called the Learning in Science Project Assessment. In this project, formative assessment was defined as the process used by teachers and students to recognize and respond to student learning in order to enhance that learning during learning. The purpose of this project was to investigate the nature and purpose of assessment activities in science classrooms, to investigate the use of assessment information to improve student learning. Other purposes included to investigate teacher development, and also to develop a model to describe and explain formal assessment in science education. After analyzing the results of this project, they came up with 9 characteristics that formative assessment was identified by. They included responsiveness, sources of evidence, tacit process, using professional knowledge and experiences, integral part of teaching and learning, done by both teachers and students, purposes for the formative assessment, contextualized nature of the process, and dilemmas. I will briefly describe each one. Responsiveness means that formative assessment is ongoing, dynamic, progressive. Whether it's formal or informal, planned or unplanned, reactive or proactive, or whether it includes an individual student or a class or group setting. It means that formative assessment is always changing. The source of evidence include that the teacher has different situations for learning, different avenues from which they can get the evidence. Number 3, tacit process means sometimes the teachers aren't even aware that formative assessment is going on or taking place. Some teachers have described this as a gut feeling when it comes to some situations with the students. They use this gut feeling to informally assess the students and their work. Using professional knowledge and experiences. This includes using the teacher's knowledge and experiences of topics, of the students as learners, and from having taught the unit of work before. This helps teachers make decisions of things like whether to go on or whether to reteach or try different approaches. An integral part of teaching and learning. This means that teachers use the evidence to make decisions after the evidence has been collected. What did the teachers and the students do? Did they reteach? Did they try a different approach? Things of that nature. You have to incorporate formative assessment into the teaching. Number 7, 6, done by both teachers and students. This means that not only do the students participate in the formative assessment, teachers are assessed as well. 7, purposes for formative assessment. Does it support students' learning? Does it monitor the progress, learning, or understanding of the students during the teaching? Does it allow teachers to give adequate feedback to the students? Does it help the teachers decide whether an activity or task is working in their classroom? Does it help plan for future teaching? Does it, does it tell teachers when is it time to move on? 8, contextualize nature of the process. This means that many factors influence formative assessment. These factors can include learning situations used, learning activities chosen, the teacher's knowledge of the students, professional knowledge and skills of teacher, the type of the lesson, and the teacher's purpose for teaching that lesson. And number 9, dilemmas. When all these characteristics come together, they create situations during assessment. These situations have no solutions. The only way to manage these situations is to use the professional judgment of the teachers. Now I will give some examples of formative assessment in science. Formative assessment can be seen as a wide range of strategies. This ensures the data collected is adequate enough to provide feedback to the teachers and students. This variety also provides differentiation for the students. Some of these strategies can be used as formative and summative. The easiest formative assessment is through observation. Teachers can walk around their classroom during instruction and observe the students' work and their behaviors. This focuses on the skills, concepts, and attitudes. It should be paired with recording. This means teachers should take notes in a notebook or on index cards while walking around to ensure that they don't forget anything they observed from the students. This will help them make judgments in the future. Another common formative assessment in science is the use of graphic organizers. They are quick and easy. They show the many depths of understanding. They link concepts together, and they help teachers analyze student learning. Science journals and lab reports. This depicts what the students are learning and understanding. It does this because it allows students to put their thoughts and the information into their own words or drawings in the notebooks. Science journals can also be used to record scientific data, observation, hypotheses during experiments. With group and peer assessment, students display how well they work with other students. This is a social aspect of learning. It also allows students to use their own understanding of the information they learn to assess other students' work. With visual displays, students process the information they've learned and put it on a visual display for others to see. This could include models, diagrams, posters, or even simple graphic organizers. Self-assessment, which is one of the most important parts of formative assessment. With this, students reflect on the results of their work to determine progress toward understanding of the learning targets. This can be done with a simple checklist that the teacher passes out to the students, or it could be done through a sit-down interview with teachers where the teacher asks the students questions. And these are some of the resources I used for my presentation. Thank you.